Hello and welcome back to JomezPro's coverage of the Disc Golf Pro Tour here at Discraft's Green Mountain Championship from Smugglers Notch Resort in Vermont. Big Sexy Commentary here with you from the Brewster Ridge course. Nate Sexton, Jeremy Koling.
Man, I just love this place. Don't you?
I do.
I love this place so much, and we do have some of that fall color change happening up here in these beautiful woods in Vermont, and we have got a little bit of separation going on right now from P. McBeth and the rest of the field. He's got 4 strokes clear of second place right now. A little check-in. You're making a little moves to get up there in the mix. So are a ton of other players. Ricky Wysocki obviously struggling a little bit during round 1, but you knew he'd be right there in the mix come the end of the tournament.
Yeah, 4 rounds too long to keep a good man down, and Ricky definitely one of those. Hole 10, par 3, 470 down the hill. This is a little bit, I feel a little bit more downhill than you can really see on the camera. It's enough that at that 470 distance, it is just so tough to not have your disc start to fade one way or the other as it's just gliding down and losing speed that whole time. I think Paul, we've been seeing Paul go mid-range. We'll see if the wind affects that choice.
I think it might. We had a slight headwind coming up this tunnel here. And you can see Chris has just thrown an absolute laser. That's going to come up about 30 feet short. Beautiful shot, though, just direct all the way to it.
And Paul is going to stick with the mid-range.
It's a big trust in that disc. And you can see this thing's going to wind shear up and down.
Can it get the distance? Not quite, but it's not bad.
Man, inside circle 2, that's still over 400 feet, probably 420 feet for that buzz just down the hill perfectly straight.
Simon mid-range as well. A little more height. Could be special.
Yeah, if this flexes back, he's going to really like it.
It doesn't have the finish he was looking for. I liked it out of his hand.
He's from Germany. Oh. Not Finnish.
Okay, it didn't have the German hyzer that I wanted it to have at the end of the flight.
I'm sorry. And,
oh, no.
Oh, wow. Oh, yes.
Yeah, that's not bad.
And you can see how thick those trees are. Man, that is a brutal place to be.
Little forehand approach here. It's nicely done. Leaves a bit of a tester, but not too bad.
Let's see if any of these guys can knock down their long circle 2 putts. Paul first. Oh, just hyzered a bit early. I think Simon might be one of the best in the world at that stance and proving it once again. He makes so many of those spin putts.
You're right about that. He doesn't really need energy from his legs, and that's why he's going to be so great from a kneeling place, because he's going to be using all that wrist and arm energy, and that's his normal putt. So he's not really limited by the fact that he can't push off.
Awesome putt. Huge birdie. One of the harder holes on the course to pick up the birdie on. Oof. And Dickerson, that was an opportunity. Open door with McBeth missing the birdie. He doesn't do that very often. And Chris barely able to save the par, but he does. Not losing his stroke to Paul, but losing 1 to Simon.
Nikko in for par. Paul in for par as well. So just the birdie, 1 birdie for Simon there. Closes it to a 3-stroke lead. Hole 11, downhill par 4, 615. Pretty tight woods off the tee, opening just slightly down near the pin. But this one is a great opportunity for that turnover flex back play of Nikko's maybe. If he can get something to turn that still has some stability late to stay in the fairway, that could be a big shot. Forehand's popular as well. You want to move a little right, but not too much, because if you get off the fairway right, your angle just kind of gets pretty bad. Not a lot you can do.
Interesting to see Simon go with a forehand here. And if that gets through clean, that'll be a pretty tricky little approach.
Yeah.
If you're not in the fairway and you're that far back, there are quite a few things in between your lie and the basket. Chris with a nice looking turnover.
A little bit of flex. Come on. Oh, maybe not. Okay.
Double
We're loving
tree
it.
kick.
We're loving it.
Absolutely.
That's right in the middle. He'll have a straight shot with perhaps a putter. And this is going fast. If this can turn before the tree.
There's a little backdoor alleys too sometimes.
That's not the worst. Falls on the edge. You'd rather be on that left side, I feel, than the right. Especially as a backhand dominant player.
And look at this. Nikko actually lining up the forehand as well.
Smooth.
Yeah, certainly was. And if that doesn't get a big skip,
That's good.
it could be pretty good. I think he'll like that result, especially with his ability to flex on his second shot. I think he'll have to probably release with some Anheuser on his approach.
What a shot here.
Oh, my goodness. Oh, my
Wow.
goodness. Oh.
From way back. Great commitment, great angle control, flipping it up to flat, and then just for the extra, hitting the pole.
Wow. That's such a beautiful shot. Such a beautiful shot.
And this isn't going to flex for Nikko. He's going to have a putt right on the paint.
Mm-hmm.
Right about 10 meters.
Chris Dickerson
Mm-hmm.
going a different line than Paul. Similar result, though. Only 15 feet away. That's a good shot.
And you see Simon forced to go with the driver. That speaks to how difficult this angle is.
Really needing that low speed flex back. Didn't hear what he said there.
Something about how did that hit a leaf?
Oh, yeah, sure. But I think he's inside the circle. That was a good shot from his awkward place. Yeah.
Great power on that.
Probably the best place for Nikko to be is 1 inch outside the circle and really able to jump full power into that jump putt.
Simon in from 9 meters.
Wow, we are looking like we're going to be seeing another $25 to charity. Star frame on hole 11. No, we are not. Uncharacteristic mistake for Chris Dickerson. I do not see him miss putts that often, and certainly not from that distance.
Wow.
Mm.
That's tough.
Mm-hmm. Caught me off guard.
Hole 12, par 3, 430, blind shot down the hill, moving slightly left. You've got a drop off behind the pin, so mid-range the popular play, even though 430 might suggest driver. I think a lot of guys are going to go mid-range here, try to control speed, and just glide down this hill. If you can get it in the chips, you've done something. This is not an easy hole, but it's definitely there for players of this caliber.
Simon up first with back-to-back really nice birdie putts. And you called it. That's a mid-range, and that is looking way too tight. Too much hyzer on the release.
Mm-hmm.
It's going to fight its way
through pretty
all
well,
the way
but
down there, but yeah, there's really not much at all. He's got a very low ceiling with a lot of foliage in the way.
Ball doesn't like it, but I think he might get away with it.
Yeah.
It's breaking a little bit much, maybe. Yeah, I think he's going to like it now.
Yeah. It's always nice when you have a gallery and you're throwing on a blind hole and you're not quite sure what the result's going to be, and then you start hearing claps.
Mm-hmm.
That's always a good feeling.
Ooh. Well, it got down there far enough to not be in the really tight woods. I think he should be okay. Not the most fortunate break there, but he'll be putting. Nikko plays the wide hyzer, skipping past the pin.
Yeah, 24, 25 feet left for the par. I wonder if Simon sees something. Oh, looks like he does have an alley. Can he make this? Oh, wow.
Great try.
Yeah, that was a best case scenario for him to have a look at all.
He had me believing that looked like a really nice effort.
And Chris needs to make this here. And what a great bounce back from the miss. I'll call it a gaff on 11.
Yeah.
But another solid jump putt for C-Dick. That's a good feeling birdie.
Mm-hmm. Paul for birdie.
It's just a machine.
He goes to -8 for the round.
Well-oiled machine. Nikko able to save the par.
Two birdies, two pars for the group on the 12th. Hole 13, par 4, 555, following the gravel road all the way down around the corner. Backhand turnover or forehand are nice plays here. You'd like to push that back edge of the woods on the camera left here and try to get down here near the bridge to set up that little tunnel shot into the basket. It's a specific landing zone type of shot, like we often see in the woods. If you're off the fairway here, not a lot of chance you're going to be able to penetrate this gap and get way back there, in there for a putt.
Yeah, that tight pinch that comes together at the very front of that entrance to the woods is very specific. So if you can't see to the pin, it makes it very difficult.
This is a pretty bad shot from Paul.
Yeah, that's going to be a tricky spot to even save the par. I don't think birdie is really in the equation anymore. Chris going to look to throw a little bit straighter towards the back edge trees.
Too much anhyzer.
Yeah, too much speed as well. You really need a finesse. Like, I think the best possible shot is a finessed hyzer flip forehand that pushes that back edge. But you're not really trying to throw 400 feet. You just want to get about 350.
Oh, and Simon does the same thing as Paul.
Ooh.
Perhaps even a worse result with the kick, as he didn't get as much forward travel, but both of them missing the shot inside. See if Nikko can split the difference between Chris and the other two guys. No, he goes with too much ante, so none of our players.
Oh.
Well, that actually worked out kind of okay.
Yeah, that worked out best case scenario.
I still feel pretty comfortable saying none of our players hit their intended line.
You can see that pinch right there. Nikko's got a very demanding approach shot with a low ceiling. This is looking beautiful.
Whoa.
Unbelievable. Off the pole, just like we saw Greg Barsby do, but from a much further distance. That is an elite shot.
2 holes ago, Paul hit the pole on an upshot. Forget about that.
Yeah,
that shot was way better.
Approach shot of the round easily so far. I was going to say, Simon trying to take that title from the really awkward line.
He's going to have trouble from there.
There is a lot of thickness.
And now we're here with Chris into the woods on his drive. Going to try to flex a forehand down the tunnel.
Oh, yeah.
Nice turning shot.
Fantastic. Almost drawing metal as well. And too far. He's actually at the paint on the backside of the green. You don't see that very often. And Paul actually looks like he sees a tunnel.
Wow, that's fortunate.
And he's skipped up inside the circle.
That's great. He was fortunate to have that gap from back there.
Yeah.
I've seen much worse from a very similar looking drive.
I'll eat my words once again. Paul was way out of position for birdie, and now he's inside the circle where he hasn't missed a putt in 23 years. Chris with a nice little hot putt. Awkward stance with the trees behind him. Wow. What a scramble.
Yeah.
And McBeth at 9 under for the round. I think it's maybe time to mention Paul Ulibarri's course record 13 under at the World Championships last year.
It'll take a hot finish, but it's not out of the question, especially here on 14, one of the easiest on the course, par 3, 260 uphill. There's a pretty wide gap on the right. You see most players go half-speed driver or perhaps mid-range, just kind of hit that and take your slight skip over to the left. Paul is going to go with the mid-range, this brand new release from Discraft. Whoa.
And that I did not see coming. This is the second easiest hole in the course.
That's more like it.
That
unfortunate,
wow.
But still,
worst case right there.
Still in range, but that was going to be parked.
You're looking like you're completely home free and then hitting the tree square so much that it comes back 10 to 15 feet. Tough break for Chris.
Nikko flexing just a little too early. He'll have a long putt.
So far, nothing close to the pin. Got one drive left to save the groups. No, this isn't going to be close to the pin either. So I don't even know if Chris might be inside the circle, but that's the closest chance of anyone really has.
Look how tough Paul's lie is.
I think he's just comfortable in that position. It's the third time we've seen him go down to the knee with the...
Yeah, maybe you're right. It's not horrible. He's actually thinking about bidding it is the issue.
That was it. And
that was a healthy bid.
Yeah, it certainly was. He's got a kind of a tricky putt perhaps for par, but I think he'll be able to stretch around the tree. Nikko, good effort and keeps the disc close to the basket. Simon with an opportunity to close a stroke with a very challenging putt. Oh.
That should be next to the definition for half-hearted. That's the most
And Chris Dickerson overtaking second place, sole second place. He's at 20 under.
Nice birdie.
A little turkey for Chris Dickerson getting back into the action.
And how crazy is that? One birdie for the group on this hole.
Yeah, I certainly was not expecting to see that. And I think Paul is going to have to birdie the last 4 holes now if he wants to get back into that conversation that I was just talking about regarding the course record. I just assumed that he'd be picking this one up and only having to get 1 par left to finish the round out, but got his work cut out for him, especially starting here.
This is clearly the hardest remaining hole of those final 4. Hole 15, Island Green, par 3, 360. It's a big island, everything inside the rock wall, but you have to hit that first gap. You've got to stay straight a long time and then get that nice finish left to get close enough to run it, which for Paul, we've seen him go from 100 here, so he might be running this no matter where he lands.
That's right.
But he would certainly like to get a little closer than last time.
The dance floor is huge, but getting in through the open doors, getting past the bouncer, that's a...
Yeah, there's a bouncer right there, way up right. Going to be in bounds, but I don't think it's going to be easy. And Paul, is this a little tight?
No.
No, it's looking... Well, it is a little tight.
A little tight.
It kind of got through some trees, but it's fantastic.
Yeah. It's exactly what you want. Yeah, I mean, I think he might like to push that back edge of the fairway by maybe another 3 feet. But great shot. Nikko, if this hyzers before that back edge, and it will. And it's going to get a skip.
Nice shot.
Still probably out of birdie range with that awkward stance he has left and 45 feet. But
I think he'll go for it.
He'll go for it, yeah. Maybe not out of range, but...
Simon, very similar line to Paul.
And a similar putt to Nikko's. Is Chris able to get up near the pin?
Got a little bit of trees. Pushing towards the OB line.
That is a good shot from back there.
He's safe.
Call this one 52 feet.
Oh.
Just off the top. Simon once again going down to the knee.
A little too high. Is this
Yeah.
going to skip too long? No, he's okay. That rock wall is close, but luckily enough room there that you can absorb even a bad skip off the basket. Chris for a big par save.
Oh, no. Really, that would have been a huge save, and Paul's got an opportunity to extend that lead by another stroke. Go ahead and count it. He hasn't missed the center of the pole in 46 years.
10 under now. Simon with the par. Nikko has a par putt, and then we're going to see Chris tap in a bogey. As you can see at the bottom of the screen, we haven't seen a bogey in quite some time from anybody in the group. They're
That's
all
right.
playing great.
And I think Chris is the only player on the card with a bogey, if I'm not mistaken. Oh, Nikko had one on hole 4. But other than that, this card is playing incredibly clean. Just like the feature group in round 1, I think we only saw 3 bogeys for the entire card for the round. Looked like we got another one of those situations brewing during round 3.
Yeah, you're right about that. Hole 16, par 3, 400 downhill. You've got 2 gaps here. The one you can see right now or going beyond that biggest tree and trying to find the back door. I think that is the preferable route if you're throwing the forehand. If you're going with the backhand turnover, you're probably going to want to go through the earlier option to not go too deep of the pin.
The timing of the drone flight on this hole is just perfect. Just really showcasing the beauty of this green.
Paul going to go inside line.
And skipping cleanly through everything. That's going to be a challenging putt even for him.
40 feet perhaps. Nikko.
Yeah, catching some guardians.
That's why that inside line is a little bit tougher, I think.
Simon going low and outside. Can this catch edge enough to skip around? It is a little bit.
Yeah.
Yeah, not a bad result. Oh, getting better and better by the second. He's got way fewer trees to deal with on his putt than he would have without that little bit of roll.
Chris also going inside
Oh,
and
catching
getting really
early
inside
tree.
now. Hopefully he made it around the woods. It looks like he's in there, but some room to swing. Great
yeah.
recovery.
Yeah, it certainly was. Nikko lined up at 63 feet. You know he's running this aggressive putter. Just an inch low.
So close.
Pulls the hat over the face. He can't believe it. Simon has had a little bit of a high release on his misses today. It's really the only thing that's keeping him back from hanging in there with McBeth. With this putt from 38 feet, it's an opportunity to gain another stroke. And just
He
forget
will
about
not
it, folks.
stop.
This guy is just relentless. He is just greedy and wants everything, and why shouldn't he?
Fantastic putt.
And with that birdie there, I got to say that course record is in danger of getting tied today because I just don't see the way he's playing him missing either 17 or 18, one of the 2 easiest holes on the course. Or both of them are actually right up there in the top 5 easiest holes.
Great save from Chris.
Yeah, it certainly was. It can get really dicey off to the right side of the fairway, really anywhere off the fairway on this entire course, but the right side here early is bad. And Simon, bogey-free 6 under. He's playing well. He's 7 back. I mean, it's got to be a pretty demoralizing feeling because anything under par, especially on these woods, in this wind that we haven't really talked much about on the back nine is good, especially 6 under.
17 is a par 4 short one at 530. You just have to make this corner with your drive. If you can throw even a 350-foot straight to left finish backhand, you're going to love where you're sitting. You're going to be right on the road looking at a putter shot of less than 200 feet. And I think that's going to be the game plan for these guys.
Ball resets and delivers, and this looks a little bit inside, but was that just glanced a tree?
I don't know if it did feel too inside. I must have maybe redirected. He's going to have a chance from there. This needs to hurry up and get left. There you go.
Oh, wow. Good speed control. Right there on the road, like you said, that's the best place to be. Anytime you can be on the road in this hole, at least 300 feet up the fairway.
Mm-hmm.
That's a great FD3. Wow. Fortieth discover.
Chris may have turned this over too much as well, but he actually lands right on the road. And he's a little bit further back, but I think he's not going to have a problem with that.
Chris a little right.
And that kick to the right kind of spells, says, basically makes the words, whatever.
Yeah.
Spells the end of the birdie. That's what I was trying to say. And McBeth was trying to just make it for 2.
And that's a little bit of an unfortunate kick, but he should still have a straddle opportunity. And Nikko. Great approach.
Picture perfect. Playing the hole as it was meant to be played.
Haven't seen Simon in a while.
Simon trying to skip through the back door, and he does cleanly. Doesn't hit a thing. That'll be a tap-in birdie. Chris, however, having to work a little bit harder than the rest. Fortunately, he does look like he has a look. Oh, yeah. That's a good break. When you get in there and you see that you have a line,
yeah,
that's a good feeling of a sigh of relief. Well, a bit high, but still.
Another birdie, 12 under, 27 for the tournament.
And 7 clear of Chris and Simon, who are tied for second place. There is our star frame. There is some money to charity.
Our last hole, the 18th par 3, 345 dead straight. You've got that one bush to worry about. Nikko's flex line going to be a perfect play here. You'd like to get a little bit right early and then finish back to the left to find the green. A couple trees up there by the basket, but nothing that's going to block any putts, really. You just got to throw that mid-range or driver as straight as you can. Paul McBeth going mid-range here on 18.
He needs this.
Oh, this is hunting.
Oh, my goodness.
Wow.
He's going to have a tap in. Look at Jeff Corns' cat. He's just giggling.
close to an ace.
What else can you say? I mean,
We got to see this from the other angle. He was so excited he got his big old hat in the way. It was close.
oh my gosh.
And lovely little tree there.
And the kind of player that Paul is, I no doubt for a second do I believe that he was not trying to run an ace.
Mm-hmm.
He doesn't want to share the course record. He wants it all to himself.
Mm-hmm.
I love this line.
So good.
Yep. And look at the little pinball action to the pin.
Let me get some more of that, bro.
Nikko really envious of Paul's kicks that he gets sometimes in the course, as is the rest of the world.
It's more than kicks, I got to say.
Oh, no, definitely is.
We're all getting some good ones and some bad ones.
Mm-hmm. Paul just gets all the good ones, and we get all the bad ones. I'm totally kidding. And Chris catching that last bunker tree. That is right near the circle. So he'll have a little step putt. Simon a bit early, but still a decent result.
Mm-hmm.
Right at 36 feet.
Just low. And Paul is going to have an 8-shot lead.
Unless somebody shot 22 under from second card, I don't think it's possible.
Yeah, I was in the group. And I don't remember anybody cracking 20.
That's not good.
Nikko, nice birdie. -7 for the round, -18 for the event.
Good round for Nikko.
Mm-hmm.
And Paul just
Ties up that record.
ties up that record.
It's a
and
Paul thing.
It is a Paul thing. We're just seeing somebody who's just hitting their stride in a way that I don't know. I mean, we've seen McBeth do this for years, but the way he's doing it now with these 8-stroke leads just through 3 rounds, I'm sick and tired of it.
He's a wise old McBeth now. You got to watch out. This guy, fire emoji, -13, 8-shot lead. You see our lead card will remain unchanged as we see Jerry just panning all over the course. Thank you guys so much for tuning in. Thanks to Discraft. Thank you to the Founders Club. We'll be back one more round, Fox Run Meadows. We'll see how windy it gets. You know, if Paul falters, maybe it gets exciting. You never know.
Big Sexy.
Out.